Hi class, going on with number 3 for today on our word problems. This one is completely a real world problem because you will encounter this maybe even sometime in the near future when you want to get me a gift box full of candy. This could very well happen. I'm sure that you guys are just thinking, you know what, Mr. Berkey needs some candy. We should really get him something. I'm not saying that you have to. You don't have to do this. But if you wanted to, I would be a nice guy and I would accept that gift box of candy if you were to do that for me. So just to let you know, don't feel pressure like you have to, but if you were thinking that already and you wanted to, I wouldn't say no. So if we're going to encounter this in the real world, then stink bomb, we had better learn it right now, right? So we have 2 brands of candy were mixed in a 10-pound gift box costing $14.55. If you were wondering, my 2 favorite candy bars are Snickers and 100 Grand. So brand X, let's just do that. Brand X, instead of calling it brand X, we'll call it brand Snickers. Snickers cost $1.50 per pound, and brand Y, let's call that 100 Grand. Let's call it 100K. 100 Grand. That's a bad looking K. That cost $1.35 per pound. How many pounds of each brand were in the gift box? So if we look at this one, our first equation, 2 brands of candy were mixed in a 10-pound gift box consisting of $14.55. So one of our equations is just going to be the weight of our candy. We have Snickers plus 100 Grand is going to equal a total of 10 pounds. So we'll say Snickers will be our S variable, and 100 Grand, we'll call that our K variable. Snickers plus 100 Grand, that equals 10 pounds. Our next one is going to be the cost equation. So it costs $1.50 per pound of Snickers. Brand of Snickers costs $1.50 per pound. So let's just think about this logically for a second. If you were to get me 1 pound of Snickers, it would cost you $1.50. If you were to get me 2 pounds of Snickers, it would cost you $3. $1.50 times 2. If you were to get me $3 of Snickers, 3 times 150 is $4.50. It would cost you $4.50 to get me 3 pounds of Snickers. However many pounds that there is, you multiply it by $1.50. It says how many pounds of each, so you don't know that. So we're just going to say however many Snicker pounds you give me, it's 150 times that. So however many Snickers, $1.50 times S. The same rationale is true of the 100 Grand. If you get me a pound of 100 Grand, it costs you $1.35. If you get me 2, you multiply by 135, 3, so on and so forth. So it's going to be 1.35 multiplied by K. That equals our total, and I should really move this over a little bit so that we have more room. That equals our total, which this gift box costs $14.55. So if 14 of you wanted to go in on a gift basket for me of Snickers and 100 Grand, it would cost each of you about $1. That's not so bad, right? Not saying that you have to, but if you would like to, I would accept. All right, now we have our system of equations right here. So let's solve this system of equation. Let's use elimination. We can say that Snickers equals 10 minus 100 Grand. If I were to subtract K from both sides, so now I can just use substitution. My Snicker variable, I can substitute in 10 minus K. So my next equation, $1.50 multiplied by S, which S is now 10 minus K, plus $1.35 times K, that equals $14.55. And this class is how we're going to end up solving for K. We're going to find how many pounds of 100 Grand are in this gift box. So let's distribute. $1.50 times 10 is 15. $1.50 times a negative K is a negative 1.5 K. plus 1.35k, that equals 14.55. So now let's get all of our k's together and get the 15 over here off to the right. So a negative 1.5k plus 1.35k, that equals a negative 0.15k. A negative 0.15k. That equals 14.55 minus 15 is a negative 0.45. All right, and last step in getting k all by itself is dividing by a negative 0.15. Dividing by a negative 0.15. So a negative 0.45 divided by a negative 0.15, k equals 3 pounds. K equals 3 pounds. So in this gift basket, there are 3 pounds of candy Y, or 100 grand. So then, how many pounds of each brand? You've only solved half of the problem. You found the 100 grand. It's 3 pounds. But what about the Snickers? Remember how many pounds there are total? 2 brands of candy were mixed in a 10-pound gift box. So if 3 of those pounds is 100 grand, then obviously the other 7 would have to be the Snickers. So there are your 2 answers. 3 pounds of 100 grand, 7 pounds of Snickers. If you guys want to go out and buy 3 pounds of 100 grand and 7 pounds of Snickers and put them in a gift box for me and say, Mr. Berge, because you are such a great math teacher, we can give you these, I would say, you know what, that was such a nice thought. I don't know where you came up with that idea, but I will gladly accept that gift of appreciation from you.